Parties, of course, meeting for the first time in court today. It was about a 90-minute hearing.
This isn't going to end well for you, Blake. Sorry.
In a world where sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
I'm just going to tell you, you're going to have to wait and see. It's coming up soon.
90 minutes?
Justin Baldwin recently achieved a major win in court against Blake Lively, and it was more than enough to shake things up. Although this wasn't the final decision, it was a significant moment that could change the direction of the whole case. It clearly caused a lot of stress for Blake and her legal team, who were not expecting this kind of setback so early on. If you haven't been following the situation, here's a quick summary. Blake Lively filed a huge lawsuit against Justin Baldwin, demanding $250 million. She accused him of harassment, which grabbed a lot of attention, but Justin didn't stay quiet. He responded with a lawsuit of his own, and it was even larger. He hit back with a $400 million counterclaim, saying Blake tried to blackmail him and ruin his reputation with lies. This recent win for Justin wasn't the final word in court, but it was a big deal because it showed that his claims are being taken seriously. It also means that Blake's case might not be as strong as she hoped. Many people watching the case think this could lead to more problems for Blake moving forward. Justin's legal team was clearly prepared, and this first courtroom success gives them an upper hand. On the other hand, Blake and her team now have to rethink their strategy. This case is far from over, but things are already heating up. Fans and the media are paying close attention, waiting to see what will happen next. Only time will tell who will come out on top in this high-stakes legal battle, but right now Justin Baldwin seems to have the momentum on his side.
Director Justin Baldoni is now suing his former co-star Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, seeking more than $400 million in damages, accusing them of defamation and extortion.
Now they have both ended up in court, and honestly, it looks like this could become one of the most dramatic legal fights Hollywood has seen in a while. As soon as things started in the courtroom, Justin's lawyer, Brian Fredman, walked in looking completely prepared and serious. It was clear he meant business. From the start, he came in strong, and it felt like he wasn't going to hold back at all. His energy was intense, and he seemed determined to win no matter what. On the other hand, Blake's lawyers didn't seem ready for this kind of heat. They looked uneasy and caught off guard by how direct and forceful Brian was being. And honestly, it's not surprising. This is the same lawyer who once said publicly that he was going to take legal action against Blake so hard that it would completely ruin him. It's safe to say this trial will be intense.
The judge chose to not impose the gag order on Justin Baldoni's attorney Brian Friedman today, but did threaten to move up the trial if the media press war continued.
The way he behaved in court made it clear that he was serious about everything he said. His attitude showed that he wasn't just talking, he truly meant it. Blake's legal team got so shaken by his boldness that they tried to silence him by asking for a gag order. They didn't want him speaking out anymore. However, the judge completely disagreed and refused to go along with that request. The courtroom energy was intense, and it was obvious that the judge wasn't going to let anyone be silenced that easily, especially not today. The tension was high, but he stood firm.
His team launched a new website over the weekend, featuring an amended legal complaint and a 168-page timeline of events, including newly released text messages allegedly sent between the embattled stars of It Ends With Us, as well as Lively's husband, actor Ryan Reynolds. One alleged text from Reynolds to Baldoni expresses his excitement about It Ends With Us, writing, "This is going to be incredible. I happen to adore you, Justin."
The judge didn't agree with Blake's side, explaining that her own attorneys had also spoken publicly, so it wouldn't be right to stop Fredman from doing the same. This was a small victory for Justin's team, but things only went downhill for Blake after that. Her lawyers kept pushing and said Fredman was talking too much. They argued that because he kept giving interviews and appearing in the media, they didn't have enough time to reply or prepare their case properly. Still, the court didn't seem to see that as a strong reason to limit Fredman's public statements.
Lively's lawyer does not like Brian Friedman and says he is being way too chatty about this case to the public, giving them little wiggle room to respond in the court of the public opinion.
Justin Baldoni kept revealing new information so quickly that Blake Lively's legal team couldn't keep up. Every time they tried to respond to one thing, he was already moving on to the next point. They seemed overwhelmed, trying to catch up with everything being said. But the judge didn't seem to care about their struggles at all. Instead of slowing things down or stopping Baldoni's lawyer, the judge let him continue, which was another setback for Blake's team. Things got even more intense when it was discovered that Justin wasn't only defending himself in court, he was also fighting back online. His team created a website focused on the case. This site included detailed evidence like videos, receipts, legal files, and even private text messages. Over the weekend, they updated the website with a revised legal complaint and a 168-page timeline showing the full chain of events. It even included messages supposedly exchanged between the stars of It Ends With Us and Blake's husband, Ryan Reynolds. One text from Reynolds said, "This is going to be incredible. I happen to adore you, Justin." Blake's lawyer said, all of this was inappropriate, but Justin's lawyer quickly reminded everyone that Blake went to the media first and barely gave Justin any time to respond before the news was published.
The lawyer also brought up the website that was put out this weekend, saying Blake's lawyer also complained about Justin Baldoni's new website dedicated to the case, telling the judge they think this is improper. Brian Friedman, his lawyer, defended this, saying that Blake's team is doing the same thing, citing the New York Times article where Blake first made her sexual harassment claims against Justin. He says the paper only gave Justin 12 hours of notice.
If Blake was allowed to speak to the press and share her version of events, why wasn't Justin given the same chance? That's the point Friedman strongly pushed, and once again, the judge agreed with him and sided with Justin. But things only got worse for Blake. Her legal team made a desperate attempt to convince the judge to let her pick the person who would ask her questions during the deposition. They were clearly trying to steer clear of Friedman. Unfortunately for them, the judge wasn't having it. He decided that Blake had no right to select her interviewer.
Counsel for Miss Lively has made it clear that Miss Lively does not want Mr. Friedman to be the attorney who takes her deposition. We are unaware of any situation that would warrant the deposed party to have a choice in which attorney takes her deposition. Parties to litigation simply do not have the right to decide which of the other opponent's attorneys may or may not take their deposition or perform any other aspects of the opposing party's case. And essentially, the judge agreed and told her lawyer that she does not get to choose who deposes her.
That moment completely rattled Blake's lawyers. You could see the panic on their faces. They knew exactly what it meant. Friedman doesn't hold back, and Blake is clearly nervous about going up against him. In case you're unfamiliar, a deposition is a legal process where someone answers questions under oath, and their answers can be used in court. There's no way to twist the story or skip the hard stuff. From how hard her team is trying to block this, it's obvious she's not prepared. If Blake really believes in her claims, why avoid Friedman? Wouldn't she want the truth to come out?
Listen to me, Blake Lively. Tap out, call uncle right now. Please take my advice. I don't feel like I am like Octagon side, UFC fight, and you're like, oh my gosh, is this guy's neck gonna get snapped? Please just tap out, be done with this. Ref, please call Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds out. Just call this out, because I'm telling you, they are not going to win this.
The judge didn't fall for their attempt and quickly turned it down. That was another win for Justin. By the time the court session ended, it was obvious who came out on top. Justin and his lawyers got everything they asked for, scoring success after success throughout the entire hearing. On the other side, Blake's group couldn't catch a break. Every point they tried to make was rejected, and each effort they made fell apart. It was a tough day for her side, while Justin's legal team left the courtroom confident, having proven their strength and control during the whole process.
We're going to move as quickly as we possibly can and prove our innocence in a world where sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
The judge has officially decided to merge both lawsuits into a single case. That means this won't drag on for years with endless delays. It's all going to come down to one intense trial. Mark your calendars, because it's scheduled for March 26th, unless they come to a private agreement before then. But honestly, if things go to trial, Blake might be in serious danger. And it's not just about what happens in court. Public opinion is shifting too. Her perfect image is already showing cracks. Some supporters are still with her, but many are starting to question her actions and reasons.